Spring is right around the corner as we look at the Azeri Stakes this Saturday at Oaklawn Park. Now, this race starts with the 5 Interstate Daydream to me. At first look, you're sort of wowed by the race last year at Parks. But when you look at the first and second call pace, we see a -2 for each call. It's not that fast, but I still feel confident in saying that she's the speed of the speed. Now, when I say that, it's also worth noting that she's won from off the pace as well in the second position at the first call. So even if she doesn't take the lead early, we know that she can sit just right off the leaders and still win. That's always dangerous for a horse like this. So we'll say 48 and 1/5 to the first call and compare that to the other horses that need to go wire to wire to win. Now, I think where you need to start with that is the 2 Lovely Ride. She's been racing here at Oaklawn this winter, and she is stepping up in this spot. If you look, we see that last race she lost in the Bayakoa sitting at 48-second first call. Now, where she's going to have pressure is going to be in the 7, Hot and Sultry. Hot and Sultry is going 2 turns for the first time today in her career. Now, the mile race at Churchill is around 1 turn, and that does need to be adjusted a little bit to a 2-turn true route race. And even if we say that +7 race shape at the first call is 3.5 lengths quicker, that would put her at the first call at 46 and 2/5 seconds. I'm going to say it's even slower around 2 turns by another second or so. I mean, times do come back pretty fast there. She doesn't get the lead sprinting, and she did show a good off the pace move last time out, sprinting going 6 furlongs, but I think her speed is only good routing. So we do have to respect her here because she wants to get forward. And then I'm also going to add in the 6 here, Hidden Connection. Hidden Connection is a horse kind of like Interstate Daydream, where she's just fine sitting just off the leaders. And if you actually look, each time she's gotten the lead, she doesn't win. So she wants to sit just off, press really hard, a length or so off. Second, third place is perfect for her. Now, when you look at the time she's been on the lead, 48 seconds to the first call at Fairgrounds last year in the Rachel Alexandra, and then ran a sub 48 second opening call last time out. She has the speed to be there, and is just another horse to add to this group that wants to be forward. So we have the 5 Interstate Daydream that wants to get to the front, but she's going to have Lovely Ride and Hidden Connection and Hot and Sultry able to match her early fraction, not to mention the 2 and 7 of Lovely Ride and Hot and Sultry have to be on the lead to win. And, I think we're looking at an early 3-horse scramble early and expect to see a sub 48 second first call here. And I think that just tees it up for the 2 superstars in here, the 1 Secret Oath and 3 Clairiere. Let's start with Secret Oath first. She's making her first start since the Breeders' Cup Distaff, like Clairiere. And she ran great in that loaded field, made a big move first to second call, and had the field to have to come catch her in the stretch. First call there at 47 and 1/5, while sitting 4th, gives her the same positional outlook today. I know she hasn't won since the Kentucky Oaks, but when you're taking on Ness twice in her peak, then chase a hot pace in the cotillion at Parks before going to the Breeders' Cup, it's hard to hold any of those losses against her as a 3-year-old. The question going forward is going to be, does she take that next step in her 4-year-old campaign? And I think we're looking sort of the same thing here for Clairiere. If you take out the personal ensign, she would have been a much shorter price in the Distaff. She looked like a winner up the inside, but just didn't have enough to beat Malathat late. Now, going back to that personal ensign, I'm pretty sure concussion, I think it's something like that is what they said from the gate issue. That led to some question marks heading into the Breeders' Cup. Obviously, that was proven wrong. She ran remarkably in the Distaff, if you ask me. Again, 47 and 1/5 seconds to the opening call in that race, where she was dead last, 8 out of 8. I get you could say that she's a closer, but I would say she's more of a presser. She really can't help that she's facing a 5-horse field most of the time. But regardless, she's going to be coming from well off the pace. Not too far, I don't think, in here. But the same question is going to be asked that I have for Secret Oath. Can Clairiere continue to be a top-level horse into her 5-year-old season? And that's a much bigger jump for her as a mare. Now, moving on to 4. She's not quite up to caliber of the pressers that we've discussed. She's faced similar paces in her last 2 starts and finished 3rd both times. Her speed figures confirm she just isn't quite on par here. And then lastly, let's touch on the 8 Moon Swag. Who's taken a step. It's pretty obvious. She's faced similar first calls, but the second calls of her wins have just been much too slow to make her a threat here. So when looking at the pace matchup, it's like I mentioned earlier. You have 2 horses that for sure need to get to the front to win, and that's the 7 Hot and Sultry and the 2 Lovely Ride. Now, Interstate Daydream is the wild card here, where she can win on or just off the pace, and then you're also going to have the 6 Hidden Connection that wants to sit just off them. I just feel this early scramble sets up the heavy hitters in here for Secret Oath and Clairiere, and I'm not going to get too cute with who I select on top. I'm saying this is Clairiere's race to lose as far as I'm concerned, even off the layoff. I don't think you're going to have much to do with this race from a win betting perspective, with her and Secret Oath being a step above this field. You can make the argument that if Interstate Daydream gets up in the 9-2, 5-1 range, she's worth a win bet on the overlay. Regardless, that would be a play where you're solely looking to take advantage of odds. I just think Secret Oath and Clairiere, they have some question marks coming in, but I still think they're top tier horses and the class is going to take over. It sets up perfectly to have a showdown between them in the stretch, with Secret Oath probably out in front and Clairiere roaring down late. But I'm going where the public looks to be with this. Clairiere for this year's Azeri Stakes.